Alrighty guys, we're back for Selesnya Counters, and this is an Edge of Eternity standard brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked. Got a couple honor. It's a 1 white mana sorcery speed, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Draw a card. Yeah, I like it. It replaces itself. Not the only 1 mana way to put +1/+1 counters on things in here. We do have all 4 Snakeskin Veil acting as excellent protection for our important creatures. Important creatures like Warden of the Grove, for example, making the cut as a 4 of, it's a 3 mana 2/2. At the beginning of your end step, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Whenever another non-token creature you control enters, it endures X, where X is the number of counters on this creature. Then maybe you curve out properly right into the Ouroboroid. Yeah, something like that. This card is in desperate need of a nickname. It's a 4 mana 1/3 at the beginning of combat on your turn. Put X +1/+1 counters on each creature you control, where X is this creature's power. Okay, my goodness. How about some card draw? We got Terrasymbiosis as a 4 of in here. I don't know if all 4 of these is going to be necessary, but I really wanted to see it today. So, 3 mana enchantment. Whenever you put 1 or more +1/+1 counters on a creature you control, you may draw that many cards. Do this only once each turn, so even if it's just 1 card here or there, that should keep your hand nice and stocked up, because there's just like everything in here puts counters onto your things, you know? But it's not going to be unheard of in this deck list to draw 3 or more cards at one given time, especially if you have multiple Terrasymbiosis on the board. So yeah, I think it's a neat one. I really hope we get to see it do the thing today. More new cards packed in. We have Synthesis Amalgam as a 2 of. It's a X in Selesnya color, 0/1 with trample. It is a legendary artifact creature. It enters with a number of +1/+1 counters on it equal to the amount of mana spent to cast it. Okay. Whenever you attack, you may remove a +1/+1 counter from each of 2 creatures you control. If you do, draw a card and create a 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token. So even more ways to restock our hand. Nice. We have a bunch of other ways to actually plug counters onto things, like a couple Innkeeper's talent, for example. How about Pawpatch Recruit? Needs no introduction. All 4 of these making the cut every time the opponent targets something. We get to spread some counters, and we can actually consider this a 3-drop, but honestly, in this deck list, probably going to be a 1-drop very often. Oh, another new one too, guys. Cosmogrand Zenith is a 3 mana 2/4. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, you can either create a couple 1/1s or put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. I don't think it's going to be hard in here at all to cast your second spell when you have things like Honor trading itself out, right? Or just a whole bunch of extra card draw from Terrasymbiosis, or card draw potentially on the Amalgam too. So yeah, I like a couple Zeniths. We'll see. You have some removal packed in. All 4 Sheltered by Ghost, I suppose, can be your removal of choice. I do think Sheltered by Ghost is going to be excellent in here, though. How about some underplayed cards? Zack Fair. I will keep bringing it up. It is criminally underplayed. Keep your eye on Zack, for real. I'm actually not going to take the time to go over it right now, though. It fits the +1/+1 counter theme beautifully. We have a couple District Mascots, too. We'll see if this does the thing. Again, not going to take the time to go over it right now. How about the mana base? It's a rough time out here in Selesnya, huh? We still have all 4 Verge, though. Got a couple Fabled Passage. We do have all 4 Starting Town. So, yeah, that'll all be fine, hopefully, right? Fitting the +1/+1 counter theme, Crawling Barrens making the cut as a 1 of, and Zanarkand also making the cut as a 1 of, potentially playing it as a top end for the adventure. How much mana is that total? That's 24 total mana. I think that makes sense for this deck list, especially with all these 3-drops. Yeah, probably, and wanting to play multiple cards on the same turn. Over here in the honorable mentions were cards that were in the original that I was testing, and I actually dropped them because they just weren't doing enough. Soul Cauldron, I'm not really seeing a whole bunch of Reanimator. Hopefully, I don't regret that, right? And then Goldvein Hydra just was not doing enough for this deck list in particular. And guys, as far as honorable mentions go, I could have packed this sideboard full of honorable mentions. We could build Selesnya Counters 3 other ways, successfully probably. So I dropped all of them. Let me know. What do you think should have made the cut as an honorable mention at the very least? All right, I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, so look forward to that. In the meantime, let's go ahead, take this into some ranked, see how we do. Okay, we'll see if we can get right into that first game. In the meantime, what am I expecting from the build? I have high hopes, man. I think the only thing holding this back is the mana, so as long as the mana looks good... Yeah, look at this. Oh, the opponent goes first, though. We can't complain about this, right? Nothing on 2. A lot of things to draw into. A lot of 1-drops, a lot of 2-drops, a lot of land. Yeah. Yeah, we can't complain about this. Land of War Elves. Okay, Sheltered by Ghost off the top. Come on, Sheltered by Ghost. We definitely need a Sheltered by Ghost to pick up the Tifa, right? We'll see, we'll see. Yeah, it's one of those things where this is a deck list where we shouldn't worry too much about removal because we're trying to grow our board state beyond what the opponent can deal with anyways. Honor is okay. I might just get the Synthesis Amalgam down. It's only at 2-3. Terrasymbiosis. Honor replaces itself. Starting Town is coming down either way. A lot of 1-drops in here, guys. I'm going to go for the Honor. I hope that's okay. We can get a bigger Synthesis down, but the Bristly Bill's going to outgrow it anyways. We do find one of the 1-drops, but unfortunately we can't actually cast it due to the forest being the only thing open, so that would have been pretty good, though, being able to play it. As is Chocobo. So Bristly Bill, I think they want to spread this wide, and they still have a Llanowar Elves open for a potential Snakeskin Veil now, too, so even if we see a Sheltered by Ghost, there's a strong chance that they have some protection here. Actually go Bushwhack. For land, they don't even care about my recruit. Well, I'm offended. Nah. Alright, let's take the 5. Yeah, that's why they don't care about the recruit, right? Because if we chump, we chump. That's probably just great news for them. Terrasymbiosis setting up for the turn just does not seem great at all. But if we do set up for the turn and actually have a turn past this with the Amalgam, we could draw into a Sheltered by Ghost, which could pick up the Bristly Bill. With the forest still open, though, we have to anticipate a Snakeskin Veil for sure. Alright, I think we're in danger either way. We might as well take the turn for some setup. And I think that's one of the... We're showcasing the weak side of Terrasymbiosis for sure. Taking the whole turn for setup when we're staring down the glass cannon that is mono green landfall. Oh, nice. Okay. We get the Fabled Passage. Whenever a land you control enters, they also mill a card too, and then they can play lands from the grave. Yeah, being able to play the Fabled Passage from the grave is really sick. We don't see this on the top end of mono green too often, right? Playing the additional land too. Maybe we do, and I just haven't seen it personally yet. That's pretty scary. I wonder how many of those we have on they have on the top end. Holy cow, what a turn, guys. Wow. They have lethal on the board. We're forced to chump here. You don't have a way to give trample, do you, opponent? Okay, good. Good news, guys. We're alive. Right. 4th mana. At least we got our 4th turn. That doesn't happen sometimes. So we can do, see again, with the 4th mana being just a green, even if we go Synthesis Amalgam, draw 2, find a Sheltered by Ghost, we still won't be able to play it. So, yeah. I guess that's that, huh? Oh. I shouldn't have played the mana first. That's why. Yeah. We still could have went X is 0, confirm. Right? And then we could have drawn a Plains and a Sheltered by Ghost. It's unlikely that we would draw that, but... However, we do end up finding mana that could have played Zack too. Doesn't really matter here that much because we are really, really super dead. As they play back a Fabled Passage from the grave. Send a Bushwhack off the landfall mill on the Explorer. Yeah, have you guys been seeing this Explorer? That's a scary top end for this. Opens up the mid game a little bit. Maybe it's not as much of a glass cannon as I was saying here. Like, look, even if we found a Sheltered by Ghost early for the Bristly Bill, what would we have done against the rest of this, you know? Yeah, good game opponent. Wow. That's one where you desperately want to go first, too. You know what I mean? But even if we went first, even if we found a Sheltered by Ghost, I think we would have had a really tough time against that. And you can see why so many people are playing Mono Green Landfall. And I'm also seeing Gruul Landfall, too. How about you guys? All right, let's keep the ball rolling. I have high hopes for the deck list, so we might even have to, like, take a look at the deck list in the middle of the video if Terrasymbiosis ends up holding us up too often. I don't think it will, and I really do want to see it today, and I want to see it do a lot more than just hold up our turn 3, you know? We go first, thank goodness, and good hand. I like it. I feel like X's 0 on the Amalgam just isn't bad. It's still coming down as a 2-3 trample. That's fitting the +1 counter themes really nicely. Llanowar Elves. Guys, send help. Oh dear. Innkeeper's talent is pretty good. Still gonna establish the creature though. X is 0. Come on, Sheltered by Ghost. Sheltered by Ghost off the top. Come on. Hey, Gruul version? No. Teamer. What? Trailblazer. Oh, okay. It's not. Okay. It's not going to be Landfall. We should still be pretty afraid ramping right into Trailblazer. Trailblazer ramps them next turn too when it comes in. So Teamer Battle Crier then is likely. We could keep Snakeskin Veil open. Get the talent down. But I think I'm going to establish the Zenith here. At that point, we start with the swing. Come on down, Zenith. Yeah, we'll see what our next turn looks like, because it really depends how far they ramp with this. Trailblazer. See what kind of mana they grab. Blue, maybe? They do grab blue for the Battle Crier. No, it's going to be Roaming Throne. What do they call? Druid! Okay, 2 draws on the Trailblazer thanks to the throne. Terrasymbiosis, cool. I mean, we have to keep up with the ridiculousness, right? I'd love to boost wide with the Zenith, but just curving right into the Ouroboroid. However we decide to pronounce this is probably better, right? We don't have a swing, so we won't have the Amalgam card draw. Terrasymbiosis can come down next turn. Hopefully the Ouroboroid survives the turn. Okay. Okay. Yeah, waiting for the 5th mana so we can keep a Snakeskin Veil open doesn't seem great. We're really hoping. Molten Duplication on the Trailblazer. They draw 4 cards, guys. Oh, I mean, there's gotta be some kind of removal then. But against Teamer colors, maybe our cards are big enough right now. Oh, they grab red, grab blue. Is the Battle Crier gonna come down? It is. I'm not rooting for the opponent. I swear, guys. I swear. Holy cow. They draw another 4. And now I wonder what kind of free cards they can play. A couple free Roaming Thrones, maybe? They get a Verge down. Devastating Onslaught. Guys, we're gonna die. We're straight up gonna die here. Or be forced to block. No, they don't. Yeah, yeah. Because the Trailblazers give them mana. They go Onslaught onto the Trailblazers. Yeah, Trailblazer, call red. We're gonna die. Holy cow. Dude, we're in danger, huh? This was another one where we only got 4 turns. All right, well. They do go Ugin for free. Ugin pops the Ouroboroid. And then a couple free Roaming Thrones. Gets rid of the other creatures. Or Anti-Casual Vestige, also working well with the Ugin. even more card draw. Pretty much dead no matter what, I would say, right? One blocker remaining. These guys don't have haste, but still, they got mana from the Trailblazer, so they can easily find a way to give haste, especially with 2 red sources that they grabbed there, too. You could also draw on the Ugin if for some reason they missed. They didn't miss. Another free anti-casual vestige here. Gets rid of the last creature on our board. Really cool deck list opponent. Really cool. But also terrifying. I'm still waiting for the other onslaught. They only got 13 cards remaining. Oh, the song also gives haste too. Ow. My face. -24. Opponent, you almost missed lethal, buddy. Gotta be more careful. Yeah, gotta be more careful next time. Yeah, cool. Teamer. Keep an eye out for Teamer for sure. Holy cow. So my Teamer deck list that I've been working on, I overlooked, and I brought this up on Twitch already, I overlooked the Outcaster Trailblazer. And I really, really have to squeeze it in somehow. Because as you can see, it was an absolute MVP in that last one. Actually, completely essential in that last game for the opponent. Yeah, we had such a cool setup and everything, man. I like this hand. Yeah, we had a really cool setup. We were ready for the Terrasymbiosis. Now let's get the Pawpatch Recruit down, see if it gets popped by the Verge. It does not. I've been seeing less and less Torch the Tower. Gonna plot up a Cunning Coyote. Cool. The opponent's bringing a bunch of fun things to the table, actually. Okay, Snakeskin Veil is open. Get a swing. Hope that we don't die all of a sudden, right? I'd actually be pretty scared if this was a Slickshot Show-Off. Because 3rd mana can come down. Show-Off comes down for free. Couple boosts. Swing in, then throw it to the face, right? Yeah, and these, in the last couple games, and this one too, I mean, the Sheltered by Ghost, we're in desperate need of it. Hey, there we go. Wow. Thank goodness, huh? But I kind of want to take the turn for some setup. Are we going to be okay to take the turn for some setup, though? The answer is yes. We're totally fine. I'll keep an emergency blocker back and everything. It's going to be... Oh, plotting up the Alloy... Or Aloe... Alchemist. Nice. I can take 5. It's either that or take 4 because I'm not blocking with the Zenith until we really need to. Okay. We should probably pick up the Challenger before we die. And, I mean, Sheltered by Ghosts is excellent here. Onto the Zenith. Snakeskin Veil, extra life gain. Go counters, extra life gain, right? Crawling Barrens. Yeah, we should. Yeah, we don't want to die, and all the extra life gain is so significant. Honestly, I am going to do this, yeah. Because Ward 2 is already good enough. Go back up to 18, the opponent goes down to 10. We have a real potential of winning on the backswing next turn if we find, like, any of our 1 or 2 mana cards off the top to play with Terrasymbiosis. They do give haste to the Alchemist. They're kind of forced to keep something here. Wow, really good boosts from the opponent, though. 9 damage on the board. They go for the swing. They risk us winning on that backswing. We don't find it, unfortunately. Wait a minute. Crawling Barrens. Oh. Okay, that works. Nice. Crawling Barrens coming in handy, guys. Cool. Yeah, the opponent could have kept some blockers, and this could have been a little bit back and forth for a few turns, but at some point we were going to grow well beyond, hopefully, what Gruul was going to be capable of there, right? Yeah. So we've been seeing a few different Gruul lists floating about, and that's a cool one. For sure. All right, let's keep the ball rolling, huh? You know what? We're almost 20 minutes in. While I have you here in the middle of the video, make sure you check out that description where we do have that Discord link as well as that Patreon link too if you're interested in joining either those up or supporting the channel that way. Also, guys, for the YouTube side of things, if you like the video, make sure you actually drop it a like. And if you enjoy the channel, then consider subscribing because it really does help out the channel. So thank you, thank you. Oh, the opponent goes first. This is a terrible hand for the opponent going first. Oh, dear. Oh dear, guys. I really want to see the Warden into the Ouroboroid, but if the first couple games should have taught me anything, it's that we don't have many turns. I'll try it. I'll try it. Really good last game. Another Warden, honestly. Thornspire Verge, huh? Yeah, I like the double Wardens. Starting town? Are we going to be up against more Teamer, potentially? Esper Origins. Probably Naya Yuna then, right? Let's see what the Surveil looks like here. Two mana card off the top would be great. Patchwork is pretty good too. Looks like they kept two on top, guys, which is probably bad news. But honestly, if they sent any of their top end to the grave, that would have been pretty bad too. So, all right, Forest, Pawpatch, keep Snakeskin Veil open. Which is, against Naya Yuna, they run Torch the Tower. Fear of missing out. Okay. Let's see what they send. Bahamut in the grave, ready to go. I'm scared. Forest off the top, I guess, isn't bad. Okay, Snakeskin Veil is not open now. Can't swing into the fear of missing out. Warden gets the boost at the end. Yeah, Yuna not yet, because they didn't have ramp earlier. Chandra! Nice! Do we see Chandra Spark Hunter pop up in these deck lists? I think this is my first time seeing Chandra. Cool. Yeah, we definitely don't block. So Chandra is a great way to discard too, but also to get a little bit of benefit here with extra vehicles that you can sacrifice to like torch the tower and stuff. Cool addition, opponent. I have no idea if that's like the opponent's little addition that's actually just epic, or if Spark Hunter makes the cut and I just never see the opponents playing with it. Yeah, that's really cool. So we actually got to curve out properly here, guys, which is crazy business. Yep, this is good. Comes in with the counter from the Warden. We endure counters. Not the Spirit. And then combat happens, and these get the boost. Really? No, opponent come back. I think that could have been back and forth easily. Oh, that was getting set up to look like a really good game. I guess they didn't have Yuna then, for sure, right? Because it's not like... That was our fourth turn. It's not like we had an open mana for protection on Veil. Of course, they don't know what our hand looks like anyways. I guess they were missing reanimation. A swing from probably Patchwork, or I'm sorry, Pawpatch. Pawpatch to Chandra. If they block, still get one through to Chandra. That could have been okay, I guess. And then probably Warden to face. I mean, it's not even, we're not even close to victory yet, especially since... Yeah, their turn could have looked like anything. Their turn could have been Yuna top deck, even if it wasn't in hand. Bring back Bahamut, pop the Urabo. I'm surprised by that. Network error. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no! We've been having some trouble today. Some opponents already froze, too. Not in this video, of course, but... Yeah. I guess we're still good. I don't know what's happening. No white sources in hand. Mulligan. Good. Yeah, really good. I'm afraid to send mana. I'm terrified to send mana, but we got 24 in here, so we should. Majority are green sources. Yeah, based on the hand, I should send the plains, right? but we saw how that holds us up too. Innkeeper's talent. Come on down, Pawpatch Recruit. Okay, Tifa. We saw that other planes anyways. Good. I'm gonna doubt that we die next turn to Tifa. They don't usually have a Titanic Growth Fabled Passage combo. Usually. Let's... Okay. Alright. I'll get the other recruit down. Snakeskin Veil open. They do not accept this trade. Period. They take the 2. Yeah, at least we have Pawpatch Recruit to block it, and we'll go down to 1 if they do have the combo. They don't, luckily. Ride the Shoe Puff. Extra counters for the Tifa. Thank goodness it's not a Fabled Passage. It's going to be a 4-3. We can still block. With a Snakeskin Veil, we might trade, but they might have their own Veil. How do you guys feel about that risk? It's worth the risk because it'll be a Veil out of their hand, and then we could top deck like a Sheltered by Ghost or something. Let's try it. I think it's worth the risk, guys, because I think there's a lot of reasons to risk this. There's the Veil. We take 3. That wasn't bad. It was a Snakeskin Veil for a Snakeskin Veil at that point, and we took a little bit less damage too. But with Tifa being boosted, it's pretty sketchy. We might have to keep a blocker back. And I'm going to have some patience here to try to survive as long as possible, because for real, Sheltered by Ghost can pull you back into these games easily. Oh, missed the mana. No, Fabled Passage off the top. Extra counter for Tifa. Goes up to 8, 10, 20. Bro, brutal. At that point, I should have swung with the recruit, right? For sure. Guys, can we just play with 8 Sheltered by Ghosts? Can we just do that instead? Good game, opponent. Good game. Yeah, that's a problem. That's a big problem. We've been running into it so much too. I realistically should have more early removal in here, right? But the removal needs to fit. I think Sheltered by Ghost fits a lot. Acting as extra protection for our important creatures, and our creatures really are very important, aren't they? Yeah. We're doing all right so far, but boy, the opponents are having some explosive plays. So maybe this more grounded approach to a deck list, it might honestly not be okay right now in Standard, right? And it's funny to call this grounded because technically we have a lot of explosive things going on here too. Or we go first. Thank goodness, bro. Okay. This is not bad at all. Let's get that Pawpatch Recruit down. I want to see District Mascot do something today, too. Ooh, might. Nice. Okay, starting town. Probably a good trade for us. They don't know what's in hand is the big thing here. They might just take the 2, and I'd love to cheese that 2 through. They do. Nice. Okay, Forest. Forest and starting town. The opponent's copying us, guys. Frenzied Bailiff. Nice. Okay. 5 going through. Another Ouroboroid. Should be really good if this is like mono green, but starting town, that wouldn't make sense to be mono green then, right? I think I'm going to swing. I think it's going to be back and forth, but I also think we could be in a lot of danger here. 3rd mana. I mean, we got our 3rd. The opponent should get their 3rd. Gruel. I'm scared. I'm very scared. Okay. Right. So, Frenzied Bailiff is a little bit of a boost to this might, and they'll have like 10 damage on this board easily. Or more. Right? Giant growth. Guys, they got 14 damage on this board. A crap? What's happening, man? Okay, we don't have a block into the might. I think we're, I don't know. Like, if we trade here, take 11 down to 4, we still die to these two creatures then, because Ouroboroid isn't going to be bigger than either of those. All right. Down to 1 we go. I think we're in a lot of danger. All right, no removal off the top because there's only 4 pieces of removal packed in, as I've been complaining about the whole time, right? Forced to keep a blocker back, and I think there's a real chance that we just end up dying to a 3rd Baelith or something. But with red in there, it could be anything else with haste, too. Yeah, since we're at 1, or burn. Oh, 3rd Baelith it is. Okay, well, we tried, guys. We tried. This is rough, man. We're really getting picked apart in these games. Oh, they didn't even need to swing. They had a Callous Sellsword for the adventure in there, too. Wow. I'm scared. Guys, where's standard meta gonna settle? I'm terrified, man. We have more than enough in here, right? Right? And then also, we have more than enough sustainability to last against the mid-range and control deck list, too. Yeah, maybe we're getting unlucky. That's hard to say, though. It's really hard to say. You guys let me know in the comments. I don't think so. I don't think we're getting unlucky. It definitely feels like the opponents are popping off, but at the same time... Oh, Zack could have been good in quite a few of those games, huh? Oh! Opponent? Opponent, have you considered my feelings, opponent? Have you considered that you have hurt my feelings? Triple Leyline of Hope, guys. Holy cow, we gotta go. We gotta go. I think I'm just gonna play the Synthesis Amalgam. Terrasymbiosis will draw on Warden when it comes time. Honor on the Zack could be good too. We replace itself. And then we could find a 1-drop. And then Terrasymbiosis next turn, a bigger card draw. Okay, at that point, I'm going to do some deck thinning then. With the Fabled Passage. Oh yeah, dude. We're in danger, but the opponent only has 2 cards in hand. They kept it for a reason, though, so... I think it should be... Okay, Hinterland Sanctifier. Another 1-drop, and they gain, like... 6 life from a 1-drop? No. 4 life. Each leyline gives an extra boost. They missed the 1-drop. Thank goodness. Are they gonna try to get the Lumen class going? I feel like they probably should, right? Yeah, we'll grab a Plains here off the Fable based on the hand. I guess it's just the Lumen class holding them up over there. Yeah, they're on their main phase too. I mean, they don't have to worry too much about tapping down, but I guess they don't know that. They don't really know what we're doing over here quite yet. Maybe they froze. I mean, I just got done saying opponents have been freezing today for some reason. And the game's been a little laggy too. I don't know what that's about. All right. Timer running down. They don't have a timer saved up because we're too early into the game, so... Oh, there they are. Okay. They arrived. I give the opponents the benefit of the doubt, always. And they arrived before the timer actually ran down too, so... I think... Okay, Ouroboroid and enough mana for everything. We might as well go into Warden. Yeah, I mean, the curves are crazy. Terrasymbiosis doesn't really matter here. The extra draw would be great, of course, but I think we have a swing with the Zack. I should have done that before, but they don't want to block. Sanctifier on the board is much, much better than Dead in the Grave. Also, we don't see combat tricks very often in mono white life gain either. If it is a combat trick, I guess at least the combat trick's out of their hand, right? I guess. All right, I don't know what's holding the opponent's hand open on this turn now, too. Cure could be in there, I suppose. It's Healing Magic. It's not called Cure, it's called Healing Magic, right? That could be a good card. Huh. Okay, guys. Yeah, I won't make you wait for the end of the timer. We'll go ahead and pause to see where the opponent is. Okay. Timer ran all the way down, guys. I'm not 100% certain what's going on, but again, benefit of the doubt. They could be like lagging, or yeah, they might be struggling to actually play right now. You never know. Because it's not like they're spamming emotes or anything, so yeah, I'll go ahead and continue to pause until the opponent shows up. All right, unfortunately, the opponent never arrived. Well, that kind of sucks, right? Yeah, we had a great curve here. Ouroboroid coming down after the Warden is just no joke, especially when you already have other creatures established too to boost wide. At some point too, once we ran out of cards to play, that Terrasymbiosis was finally going to do the thing, I would say too, right? Especially in a life gain deck list where they could have easily sustained their life total for a while from all of our big creatures. And so just seeing even more off the top, finding even more Ourobos and stuff like that, yeah. Yeah. Well, if I remember, I'll just put this up as a test hand rather than a game. We'll see, though. We'll see if I remember. I'll do my best, right? And even in the last video, I'm going to have to do that, too. I don't know what's going on. It's a weird day. Guys, we're 37 minutes in. I'm going to push it overtime. I think we can easily end on a high note. I have confidence in the deck list. I don't think that the opponents are always going to be super explosive and pop off right away. I also think Sheltered by Ghosts is hiding in the deck list a little bit. We did see it once today. Sheltered by Ghost! Let's go! Alright, let's keep it. Oh, man. Come on down, Zack. My bestie, Zack. Swamp. How dare they not give me a target for the Sheltered by Ghost? Alright, I'll start with the swing. I'm not playing into that. Yeah. I'm gonna hold off. A little bit of patience, keep Veil open. Second swamp. Oh, second Synthesis Amalgam is really good, actually. Oh, we don't have a second forest to keep the Veil open, but at least we have Zack on the board, I suppose. Zack doesn't have to tap. We can actually start with the swing here. Come on down, Amalgam. X is 0. Keep 1 open for the Zack. So if we do X is 1, it comes down as a 3-4, but then we're tapped out, we won't have Zack's protection. A 3-4 gets popped by their 2-mana removal, easy peasy. However, in this scenario, we have a chance of actually protecting with the Indestructible on Zack, and then it'll still be a 3-4 rather than just the 1-2 that Zack actually is. That makes sense here. See what kind of removal they have, though, because it might still get around Indestructible. It's going to be nowhere to run. Okay. So the extra counter from Zack, they are going to go ahead and target Zack here. At that point, it's definitely worthwhile moving that counter over to the synthesizer. Yeah, so that's cool. Even if they targeted... Sorry, Synthesis Amalgam. I said synthesizer. Revenant is a really good pickup here with the Sheltered by Ghost. Too many planes. Wait a minute. Why didn't I play the starting town? That's very awkward of me to do. Why didn't I do that, guys? Keep an eye on the mana for sure. I have no idea why I did that. At least we still have Veil open, but it's kind of important to be able to play the other Amalgam and keep the Veil open next turn too, so... Or if we see like an Urabo off the top, we need double green on the board. Warden. Okay, well, number 1, starting town. Get that down. I can't believe I did that. So Warden, we won't be able to keep the Snakeskin Veil open because of the starting town. What have I done, guys? So we could start with the swing, then go Veil, pop the Tenacity, and then Tenacity comes back with the Enduring ability, but we still get some 2 trample damage through. Or we could get the Warden down. Hope that the Ward 2 for the Amalgam's enough. No, Ward doesn't matter, guys. Nowhere to run. Snakeskin Veil doesn't matter either. I completely overlooked that. Huh. Alright. I'll just get the Warden down and established then. Yeah, nowhere to run is actually going to be a nightmare for us. Although, I guess Snakeskin Veil's extra counter could have come in handy. Ritual Chamber. They just go for the demon, too. Okay. Honor's pretty good. Really good, actually. Start with the card draw. Boost the Warden. Synthesizer has a huge target on its back. Synthesis. There we go. Send help, guys. Words and names are hard, huh? Ooh, very nice. Very nice. Starting town open with the Veil. Oh, buddy. All right. Let's do this. So actually going wide here could be a little bit more significant, right? I think so. Going wide here makes a little bit more sense. No great swings. The opponent has a terrific board state. Warden gets some more counters. Swing with the Synthesis Amalgam could mean card draw, could mean going more wide, but giving them the Revenant back is going to be really bad news. Second Soulstone. Looks like they're going to power up the Unholy Annex, which is also really bad news. At this point, them at 14, they're going back up to 16 at the end. They need to keep blockers back. And they might have some spot removal open here too. Down to 20. All right, let's see what we see. See, this is a game where Terrasymbiosis would be crazy, right? I think so. Now, unfortunately, Legendary really holding up the Synthesis too, because if we just like maxed out this Amalgam for X is 3, it comes in as a 5/5. We could even have it come in with extra counters from the Endures. It'd be an 8/8. That actually gets around their things, you know? So we could get some card draw. They got a really good block here, though. Warden just chilling. We really only have a swing with the Warden, and we try to get rid of a demon, but then they power up this Sanctuary. Oh, removing the counters for card draw, though. Yeah, we can't do that because we need to trade into the top-end demon. Actually, they might just take 5. That's probably... Actually. All right. It's not terrible. It's a 2-for-1. It's a 2-for-1, but it's not terrible. Okay. I don't think it's terrible, at least. I hope not. Kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place now that they're going to be restocking their hand off the Unholy Annex every turn, right? Power up the Sanctuary. They got more than enough mana to power up a Sanctuary successfully here. Yeah, if the demon didn't exist, maybe we could have actually had a good draw on the Amalgam. Oh, crap, guys. Deadly cover-up. I mean, the opponent is really in this one for sure. District Mascot's pretty good. Right. X is 4. Not terrible. Yeah, so the trade with the Snakeskin Veil ended up being bad, but maybe they wouldn't have played Deadly Cover-Up if they didn't have that trade, right? Okay, Conqueror on the board with Tenacity. Isn't that... That's game, isn't it? A crap. Hey, good game, opponent. Get the fancy pants, GG. Yeah, we would have had to do so much more, so much faster, right? I don't know, man. I don't know. We got some really cool synergies in here, but we're going to have to label it jank for sure. I was expecting a lot more from this deck list, honestly. It did some cool things here and there, but mostly the opponents are just doing better things. You know what I mean? Selesnya Counters. All right. Here's the deck list again, guys. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments for sure. I was expecting a lot more. I think Terrasymbiosis can drop down to 2. You want more spot removal, for sure. Probably instant speed spot removal. Some good ones, like Get Lost or something. I'm personally not going to make the change because I think the next time I visit this, it's going to look completely different anyways. So yeah, I think we need a complete overhaul of this deck list. What do you guys think? Yeah, I'm very, very interested to hear you guys' feedback on this one because I'm looking at it here like, wow, this should really do the thing. Look at all these cool synergies in here. But then the reality, you take it into the actual what we're seeing in the meta right now, and it's brutal, man. It's really tough out there. Holy cow. And then it's like, I think I brought this up at the beginning of the video when I was originally going over it. It's also tough out here for Selesnya, right? We just don't have as good of dual lands for Selesnya aggro that some of the other deck lists actually have. They actually have the shock lands and stuff and the other early lands. We lost the other Selesnya early land to rotation too, so pretty rough out here for Selesnya colors, I would say. Which means maybe we'd have a better time with just mono green counters. I had a mono green counters list since before the set came out, and then I decided not to really showcase it, but maybe I'll go back to that, revamp it a little bit, and then maybe actually do a video with it too. Let me know if you guys are interested in mono green counters. I think there could be some more faster ways to actually get the job done, but maybe not too. If you're going mono green, obviously the fastest way is going to be that landfall. Haven't visited landfall yet. I got a couple big landfall deck lists to try out. That should be pretty fun. Instead of going the aggro route, right? Anyways, guys, that has nothing to do with this deck list. A few things. Pawpatch Recruit's such a good one drop. I mean, holy cow, it's such a good one drop, huh? Oh, give me 1 second here, guys. I gotta pause the recording. Okay, sorry about that. No more distractions. So Pawpatch Recruit is what I was talking about, right? Even in a mono green version, I do think Pawpatch Recruit will make the cut as a 4 of in my list. So that says something for sure. I have had a lot of success in Pawpatch Recruit in all of the deck lists that I played it in. Literally all of the deck lists I played it in, right? I literally can't stop talking about how good it is. So it's been a worthwhile craft for me. This is one where I didn't actually pull them all out of the pack. I'm pretty sure I actually crafted up the recruits when the set released, when Bloomburrow came out. Very satisfied with that craft. Oh, speaking of crafting, guys, put it on the do not craft list, period. It just did not perform well enough today. And we got a whole lot of rares and mythics in here too. Let's do some rearranging, double check that real quick. So Honor and Zack are just uncommons. Mascots are rare. Didn't even see Mascot do the thing today. There's going to be moments, though, where Mascot takes out a Synthesizer or a Repurposing Bay, and you'll be very happy about that. Pawpatch Recruit's rare. Snakeskin Veil's uncommon. Synthesis Amalgam is rare. Talent is rare. Sheltered by Ghosts is uncommon. We have a rare with Warden. Terrasymbiosis, Mythic with Zenith, and Mythic with Ouroboroid. Yeah. That's such a hard name for me to say, guys. One of the hardest, actually. So Zanarkand is also rare. That's, I mean, you can play it in another deck list, I guess. Same thing with the Crawling Barrens. That's a rare too. That's actually an old version of the Crawling Barrens. Always keep an eye on your collections, guys. Keep an eye on the older versions of cards. Hushwood Verge, of course, is rare. Fabled Passage is rare. Starting Town is rare. Again, the mana base can at least be played in other deck lists. Even so, very expensive deck list for something that just did not perform very well. I think it might perform a little better if we drop a couple Terrasymbiosis, go up a couple Get Lost, like I said. Again, I'm not going to make that change, though. Curving out properly from Warden to Ouroboroid is such a good curve, but then there's still going to be the problem where the Ourobo was your 4th turn. Are you going to die next turn? Are you going to have to block or worse chump block with some of these creatures that you just took the time to establish and just took the time to boost? I think the answer is going to usually be yes, which is kind of why the deck list felt a little bit on the weaker side. I don't know, though. Maybe more testing required. Maybe I'm being way too hard on the deck list. That's why I'm really curious to get your guys' feedback here. Like I said, though, put it on the do not craft list. But hey, if you do have all the cards already, give it a shot. Get back to me. Let me know if the deck list deserves how hard I'm being on it, or maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, maybe with a little bit more testing, the deck list will showcase some of its more powerful sides, because there is a lot of power packed in. I do think that the Synthesis Amalgam can be dropped down to 1. The Legendary Aspect held us up once today. That being said, don't worry about the Legendary on Zack at all. Again, Zack is criminally underplayed. Keep your eye on Zack. I love the 2 of them here, and I'd play 3 of them if I had some room. Maybe drop that Synthesis Amalgam down to 1, and then that could be the 3rd Zack. And then the other change, a Terrasymbiosis or 2, and go up Get Lost or 2, right? Those are the changes I would potentially make if I were to return to this version of Selesnya Counters again, but the next time I visit Selesnya Counters, it's going to look completely different, I would say. At that point, too, it doesn't necessarily have to be Selesnya. If it is mono green, we could also go other paths, too. Simic Counters could be really cool, for example. I don't know if like Gruul Counters has any options, but there might be some fun options to pick through in Gruul, too, right? So, yeah. Yeah, a lot of ways to put +1/+1 counter deck list together. All right, guys, enough rambling, huh? Again, please let me know what you thought of the deck list down in the comments. And if you made it this far into the video for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you. All right, we'll see you in the next video.